Yeah, it did, because he's one of the greatest that you've ever seen play this game, and to struggle the way he did last night, and we still had our opportunities, and then they got away from us, in that fourth quarter. He's such a great pro and such a professional, and he's such a competitor. Yeah, I mean, it hurts you, especially me because I go so way back, with him. So, I felt bad for him last night. There's no doubt about that.
We heard him say some things last night that we've never heard him say before, and for a lot of people who were starting to think about Father Time catching up.
Well, it's going to catch up to all of us. It's just some people sooner than later, and it's definitely any catching up to him. But, in that same breath, he has a lot left in that tank, at 36 years old. I mean, he's still playing at an unbelievable level. Last night was just a game that, wasn't feeling well from the start. I think as the game went on, he started feeling worse. And I think that caught up to him as well. But, it catches up to all of us.
How much rest will you give him now?
Well, I gave him. I told him last night. I just asked him how he felt, and he just said he just feel really sick. And I said, look, just come in Sunday morning. Let's see how you feel. We'll go from there. You probably won't have him doing anything tomorrow morning. Just want to see if he can, get here and see how he looks and see how he feels, and then we'll see how it is for game time.
He talked about needing to adjust to the recovery program. What do you think he meant by that?
I don't know. You got to ask him.
I wasn't there.
Okay. Well, when you see him, ask him. Because I have no idea, to be honest with you.
What did Gary tell you about what his condition is, how he's feeling?
Just might be the flu-like symptoms. So, we'll see how he feels tomorrow.
Could be the mumps.
The what?
The ducks. They don't have ducks. They have the mumps.
The mumps? Yeah, I guess it could be that too, huh? Mumps, chicken pox, flu. It could be a whole lot of stuff, but I'm not going to speculate on none of them. I don't know. Hopefully, like I said, if it's the mumps or chicken pox, I don't want him to come in here tomorrow. but we'll see.
Let's do a little speculating about Nick Young and what you see for him in the next couple of days.
Well, you know what? He went through a full day of practice today. He went through some contact, shot the ball pretty well. He was back to being his old self. He kind of lightened up practice a little bit as well. So, obviously he's not playing tomorrow. We'll see how he feels tomorrow, and then we'll go through another practice on Monday before we hit the road, and we'll see how he feels then. And then, we'll assess that, for this next coming road trip, and we'll go from there.
He said Tuesday. Does that sound like a possibility to you?
It sounds like a possibility. Again, we got to see him on Monday, and Gary has to take a real good look at it, and I'm sure the doctors want to look at it as well. He has to wear that soft cast, and he has to really get used to shooting in that thing. So it's going to be a slight adjustment for him. But, if he's ready to go Tuesday and the doctor says it's okay, then he'll play Tuesday.
If Byron, you were saying when he first heard his son that you're going to, get him to work once he came back. Did you do that today or just phase him in?
With Nick, you mean?
Yeah,
we got him to work a little bit today. He seemed to be having fun today because he was making shots. And that always seems to put a smile on his face, and they had a pretty good competition, and he was talking, Wesley was talking, and everybody was chatterboxing today, so it was pretty fun to watch.
Byron, when you first took over, you knew this job was going to be tough. Did you expect it to be this difficult with everything that's happened?
Not really. I don't think anybody envisioned us being 1-8 at this particular time, but I don't think we envisioned having the injuries that we've had. I think we all knew the schedule was going to be tough when we looked at the teams that we had to play the first month of the season. But we've had some bad breaks, but I still feel that we're progressing. We're getting better. We're starting to get some of our pieces back. Unfortunately for us, Julius is gone for the year, and Steve Nash is gone for the year. But I still think we have enough to compete, and that's the biggest thing. And we played against the best team in the league last night in San Antonio, and we got another really good team coming in here tomorrow night.
Byron, you talked about the players having to adjust and play with Kobe in the past. As a coach, have you found that you had to adjust, and especially last night being an experience that you can grow off of?
Me adjust as far as what?
In terms of coaching Kobe in particular?
Not really. I've had the privilege and the honor of coaching a few guys that I think are probably Hall of Famers. Jason Kidd and Chris Paul. I haven't had the opportunity to coach anybody of this magnitude. As great as Kobe is, but I have had that opportunity. So, no, it hasn't really been an adjustment for me. My adjustment has really been just trying to keep his minutes to a minimum. And trying to get everybody to understand how he plays and how we have to play when he's out there and how we have to play when he's not out there. So spacing is something that I've been preaching, all season long as far as the offense is concerned. But again, we'll go through tape again tomorrow. We won't look at anything offensively. We got to just really focus on that defensive end and on how we can get better.
In terms of managing minutes and Kobe in particular, 37 minutes when he's sick, what did you learn from last night's experience in particular going forward?
First of all, I think he can handle the 30 to 40 minutes that we've been talking about very easily. You know, he hasn't shown any signs of letting down when it comes to that. So that's the least of my worries right now is his minutes and trying to keep them to a minimum. But I also found out, which I already knew, how tough this kid is. You know, I mean, he wanted to try to gut it out as much as possible until he really just couldn't gut it out anymore. So that last, 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes, where I knew the game was pretty much out of hand, I just wanted to get him out of there, get some of the other starters out of there, get those guys some rest, and then just get ready for tomorrow.
The others seem to have like a weariness and almost like an air of resignation after the game. Did you detect that at all?
Not really. Not really. I just know he wasn't feeling well, and I talked to him, right after the team meeting, and you can just see that it just looked like he was drained, So just wanted him to go home and get some rest as much as possible. The doctors took a look at him to see what was going on, and hopefully that's what he's doing today.
What scenarios would have to happen to he'd be able to play tomorrow?
Probably have to amputate his leg for him not to play tomorrow. I mean, you guys know him. If he feels 20% better than he felt last night, he's going to say, I'm good. So again, I never scratch him out of anything except practice. When it comes to playing, he's the one guy that I know if he can walk, he's probably going to play.
Byron, do you think Carlos Boozer is one of those guys that's getting more comfortable with the offense, with playing with Kobe and just with the whole team?
Yeah, I think he's getting more comfortable. I think offensively is not the problem. As much as we want to talk about our problems right now, offensively is not one of them. I mean, last night was one of those games where we didn't play well, didn't shoot the ball well. We had great looks, we just didn't shoot it well. But that's been the least of my worries. It's just making sure that we get understanding on how hard we have to play and how well we have to play together as a team on that defensive end and how long we have to do it for. That's the challenge for us right now.
How do you think he's progressing on that end?
It's not bad. I mean, all our guys can be better. That's the bottom line. All of them can be better.
How much of a difference can Nick Young make for this team?
Offensively, I mean, he can. He's a guy that can take a lot of pressure off of Kobe. He's a guy that we know we can give him the ball to and clear out space, and he can get to the basket or he can make shots. He can help us in that aspect right away. On the defensive end, the one thing about Nick, he takes challenges one-on-one. His biggest problem has always been off the ball. And I think during training camp he was getting better at that and starting to understand that, and that's something that we're going to continue to emphasize with him.